Hey guys, what's going on? Inception here, and welcome to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the new headliners Yedder card to review today. So we're looking at a card that is 5'7", high work rates, right-footed, 4-star skills with a 5-star weak foot. Right off the bat, for base characteristics, I would say I would use him mostly in the cam position because a 5'7" player that'll be able to dribble across the pitch nicely with the high work rates while having a 5-star weak foot and maybe traits. Outside foot shot trait as well. If you had a finesse shot trait, jeez. It's definitely very nice to have, right? In regards to his in-game abilities, he's got 89 acceleration with 85 sprint speed, which is great because we are going to be giving him a hunter chemistry style to boost the card as much as possible in that area, as well as the shooting because he does have 94 attacking positioning with 92 finishing, 87 for shot power, 88 volleys at 87 composure. So us boosting his shooting as much as possible is definitely going to make his finishing criteria really nice for sure. We'll see how he plays in. I would honestly say I think you could play him in any of the attacking positions, man. If you want to play him as a winger as well, if you really wanted to, you could. However, he does have 72 stamina. So because he has 72 stamina, I mostly see this card being used in the cam and striker position, right? On the sides, you kind of need more stamina, especially if you tell these guys to come back in the fence. But even for the cam position, you need it as well. You just don't need it as drastically. Like, these guys don't really cross a certain path once your CDMs are kind of in that area, right? So, yeah. We'll see what it's like in game, obviously. For passing the card, he does have an 87 short passing, which again is the passing you use mostly. So that's why I see him being a good cam with the 85 curve and 85 for vision. Dribbling on the card hopefully is super responsive in game because he is 5'7" with 90s for dribbling stats while having 89 reactions at 87 composure. And then he doesn't have any physical stats. Obviously, he's not going to be a physical type player, but he's just going to be a very fast dribbler on the pitch for sure. 84 jumping, 80 heading accuracy. Doesn't really matter too much because he is a small player. What you have to focus mostly with a card like this is very fast dribbling, being able to open up space a certain way and score your opportunity. So I think boosting the shooting and pace on the card is beneficial, but I can also see the Hawk chemistry style being good for him. This is what my boy Payne went with. Let's see what people are giving him mostly because I am kind of curious actually. So let's see here. With Yedder, people are giving him a hunter mostly. Yeah. A hawk, the reason why a hawk wouldn't make that much sense for him is because you don't really touch the physical stats that much, you know? But it does kind of like balance out the shooting a certain way, which is definitely nice because it's nice to give him a plus 10 for shot power over the finishing, but you guys know pace is absolutely massive in this game. And I do give him a full pace boost as well with the plus 10. So it does make a lot of sense, to be fair, right? So how we are going to be lined up in game is going to be as follows. It's going to be the 4-2-3-1 as we normally do. We're going to be playing him in the striker position with Samuel Eto'o on the sides, Paul Pogba as a CDM, Bruno Fernandes as a CDMs, and then we'll have Yedder up top with just the balance instruction. So we won't even tell him to come back in defense. We'll just have him up top in the striker position. And then as the game progresses, I will rotate him into the cam spot to see what he's like. Like I said, guys, so from base characteristics on the rare gold card, I wasn't necessarily a huge fan of this card, but it's one of those things where I know he'll be a 50-50 card for people, right? It's either going to like him or you don't like him. I was on the side of not liking him, so we'll see what the upgrades have done to a card like this in game. Okay, so, meta-oriented defense, attacks, okay, cool. The important thing is kind of like testing it out against the midfield that he has in Marquinhos and Marcus Llorente. So, yeah, see how he plays. Oh. Oh, wow, I thought I was going to get that pass off. That attacking AI was actually really good right there. I could have done a driven cross, actually. I think that would have worked, too. His dribbling is pretty decent. Reason being for that is because he's obviously small with really good base card stats in that area, so always super nice to have. I am noticing mostly that for me personally, I would rather use him as a secondary striker in a 4-4-2 or as a player that is playing, you know, even on the sides, I feel like he'd play that position well. I just feel like the stamina could be a problem from time to time, but that's a near post strike if we can get that. Oh. That pass is such a letdown, man. They don't make those passes good enough, in my opinion, but he did make a good run there. But yeah, so far he's giving me like secondary striker cam vibes for sure with the way that he's moving across the pitch. Okay, so he does actually move to the side positions on the balance instruction, which is good. We'll work that space there, hopefully. Oh, okay, good. I wanted to make that pass because when you make that pass and you're using a striker for that pass, they start to cut inside into the middle over there in that situation, right? So always very, very helpful. We'll get this run off here with Ben Yedder. Pretend like we're going to shoot. Go for that far post. Block with the goal miss card right there. Oh, yeah. I mean, hey, listen. The shot power that he generated from that to be able to score that opportunity was really nice. Van der Sar was really tight on his near post right there to block that angle, and Ben Yedder still did a pretty good job. Yep, that's the attacking AI I was waiting for. Okay. His attacking AI in the striker position is smart enough then. You know when I do those specific dribbles in the midfield position, I wait for those angled runs to happen, right? So you kind of dribble a little bit, and then when Ben Yedder sees that spot open, they run into it immediately. So that's like that meta-oriented attacking AI that I always look for when it comes to using strikers in this game. His attacking AI is actually, it's very unique to what you would normally use, I would say. It's actually pretty solid for this Headliners card. I didn't really like it too much on his rare gold, if I'm being honest with you guys. Like, the way that that card moved across the pitch was so annoying, dude. But that was obviously based off of personal preference. But I think this card definitely understands the open space a little bit more than the rare gold card for sure. He has very, like, I would say, like, center forward oriented attacking AI. Like, that's what I would say about it. It's very different to, I guess, like, your normal attacking AI from strikers. You know, like, players that have, like, the high medium work rates and all that kind of stuff. Like, he often offers his support in the attacking third, right? Like, every time I'm attacking the opponent, he comes close to me, and then once he realizes that I dribble into the midfield position, he starts to run into the striker area. So he's definitely going to be a different type of player in regards to that for sure. There we go. We worked that shot cancel right there. Score that opportunity. We'll make it move. We'll make it move. Yeah, guys, like I said, Ben Yedder in the striker position, he has very unique attacking AI. Like, he literally plays, like, I'm not even joking, he plays like a false 9 striker. Like, that's his base characteristic. There's not a lot of players that move the way that Ben Yedder does in that striker area. I don't think there's actually a single soul that moves like him. I never used someone that does what he does, right? So it's definitely very unique to what I would say you would normally use, to be fair. And that's why I'm saying, like, you know, a card like this in the cam position would definitely make sense. Like, you can even see in that situation right there how he kind of comes close to me to be able to... Oh my god, I couldn't even imagine that, actually getting that. He kind of comes close to me to build up the attack, right? But then he understands that once I make these specific dribbling touches in certain areas, then he'll make those runs, right? Like, you can see how he kind of wants to receive the ball. Force to run here, do that. First time strike. It's blocked right there with his defender and off by us. Yeah, guys, so his striker capabilities, man, that attacking AI is very, very different to what you'll normally use. Trust me, the high work rate's very noticeable. The way that he moves on the pitch, like, even with long ball tactics, which is, like, very, you know, aggressive attacking tactics, he always offers his support, and then he moves off of the dribbles of where you want to move, right? So, again, I think it makes more sense to use a card like this in the cam position, but this is completely down to personal preference 100%, because with 73 stamina, honestly, if you don't have comeback in defense for your players on the sides, whether that's a left cam, right cam, left wing, right wing, if you don't have that, I still feel like you can play those positions well. I just don't personally prefer him up top in the striker position, and I felt the exact same way from his rare gold card from the beginning of the year. But it's not that it's bad. It's 100%. It's not that it's bad. It's because of personal preference in regards to the full meta capability and whatnot.
Menacing, extremely sloppy in possession. Well, that's one for them to pursue. Must take the lead here.
Oh my goodness, let's frickin' go. I did 2 different shot cancels right there to utilize that space. At 5-star weak foot strike, we scored that opportunity into the top left corner. Nicely done. All right, guys, so final verdict on the Ben Yedder card. So this card with a Hunter chemistry style definitely moves across the pitch really nicely. He's definitely the type of player, in my opinion, that you can use in any of the attacking areas. His attacking AI in the striker position is so unique because it's different to what you would normally use, right? Like with other players, it's so obvious that they have like certain base characteristics. But with Ben Yedder, he actually plays like a false 9 from base characteristics up top in the striker position. Like you'll notice a lot of the times when I was building up the play how he kind of comes close to me. But then when I dribble out to the sides and I need to utilize certain empty space in the actual striker position, he's usually in the midfield position and then making the run, right? So it's a very, very unique attacking AI to the players that you would probably mostly encounter in this game. But for me personally, I think he's definitely best utilized in the cam position, left cam, right cam, maybe left mid, right mid, because of the fact that he is a small player. So this is a me personal thing, right? Having him in the cam position with high work rates is definitely really, really nice to have because he always offers his support. He always gets himself into the right areas, right? So especially if you're working with a good striker that has, you know, a good striker-oriented attacking AI as well, like Mbappe. Mbappe is wild because of that. I definitely think Ben Yedder plays that cam position well. And you know what? I felt the exact same way with his rare gold card. This card for me is one of those guys, right? Like I used to have players in foot where I didn't really mess with too much, but people just liked. Ben Yedder is just kind of like one of those guys for me this year where I know he's a good player, but I just don't mess with him that much. It's one of those guys, right? But you know, if I come across him sometimes and people utilize him well, then they'll be able to score some good opportunities with him. It's one of those cards that's strange because I know he's good. I just don't mess with him. Does that make sense? It's one of those things, right? Like you get that feeling sometimes with Ultimate Team cards. But yeah, I like to mostly in the cam position. It just makes sense for his high work rates and whatnot. Because his striker position, I look for a very specific attacking AI for him to be, you know, full meta oriented, especially at 1,000,000 coins, right? So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy the review. I'll catch you guys for next video. Peace out, dudes. Love you guys.